was nice while it lasted. However, there are as good dishes in the Mediterranean as ever flew out of it.
Joanne! 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 What's the matter with you?
The last time either I drive or you go alone.
I said
Why don't you lay down for a couple of hours?
Why don't you push off?
Can I offer you a lift?
Thank you.
Joanne! Joanne!
Oh, where to? Rome, Berlin, Athens?
On the Moyenne Corniche between here and Monte Carlo. It's only 5 kilometers.
I didn't wait to be introduced. Was it husband or boyfriend?
Neither.
Oh, a lucky man.
It isn't luck.
Predestination, then?
Not even that.
So what's left?
You have just walked into a trap. Mr. Gallant, gullible Simon Templar.
Attractive trap. What happens next?
Ah, good morning, Templar.
Morning. Same question, husband or boyfriend?
Same answer, neither.
Sorry about this somewhat theatrical meeting, but it's absolutely essential that we shouldn't be seen together.
Then why are we seeing one another at all?
I'm British military intelligence, Colonel Charles Hammerley.
Oh, headquarters where?
London?
That can be checked.
Indeed, it can.
What do you want, Colonel Hanley?
Have you had an extraordinary proposition put to you in the last few days?
Yes.
By whom?
A rich elderly French lady. She didn't appeal to me.
I'm serious, Templar.
All right. What proposition and by whom?
The Russians.
And why would the Russians proposition me?
You followed this case, of course?
Well, he's a brilliant agent, even if he is against us.
He was actually born in Moscow. Sprung's not his real name. He's their top agent in England, and the Russians will give their eye teeth to get him out. We've reason to believe they'll approach you.
Why?
2 weeks ago, you gave a newspaper interview. You were reported as saying that the easiest thing in the world would be to organize Sprung's escape. You even suggested you could do it yourself.
Am I to be arrested because of a little light-hearted banter with a reporter?
Not at all.
Well, then relax, Colonel Hanley. Go back to Whitehall. I don't work with the Russians.
We want you to. Sprung is now prepared to work for the West as a double agent.
Then let him escape. You have enough trouble keeping people inside anyway.
The Russians would smell a rat at once if it looked too easy. This escape has to be genuine. And by that I mean only a dozen people in England will be in the know.
Impossible.
Not if you organized it, on the Russians' behalf.
Well, you intrigue me.
You'll be pitting your wits against the entire British police force. Drink?
Thanks, Scotch.
Everyone on our side must believe the escape's genuine.
What am I to be paid for this?
Nothing.
Thanks.
By us, but of course the Russians will pay you a fortune. And you'll be doing a tremendous service for the West.
You have a sale.
Splendid. Good luck.
Cheers.
Now, for obvious reasons, you won't be seeing me again, but Miss Dell here, who has no known connection with intelligence, will be your contact.
Miss Dell.
Joanne.
Just call on her if you want anything.
I'll try to think of something.
Your plane ticket for London. You fly back this afternoon.
Thank you. Oh, Colonel Hanley, how do I contact the Russians?
The Russians, Mr. Templar, will contact you.
Yes, operator, that is in London. Whitehall 3920, Colonel Charles Hanley.
Colonel Hanley's office?
Is he there, please?
I'm sorry, Colonel Hanley's out of town.
Ah, yes, he said he was going out of town, south of France, Nice, isn't it?
Who's calling, sir?
Is he in Nice?
I'm sorry, sir, I cannot divulge information as to Colonel Hanley's whereabouts.
Thank you.
You've been a naughty boy.
In the past.
This afternoon. Checking up on the Colonel in Whitehall.
Well, my innocent love, anybody can say they're in British intelligence, but nobody can invent an office in Whitehall.
You want to be saved.
Well, I'm afraid it's a little late, then.
Keep smiling, Mr. Templar, and invite me in. I've a gun here, and you're also covered from the mews.
Well, in that case, I definitely want to be saved. I must admit you have a novel way of recruiting. What is this, the church militant?
I'm Marie Spring.
So?
I want you to help my husband escape.
How?
It has been said that you thought you could do it.
All right, Mrs. Spring, who sent you?
No one.
Oh, for a lone woman, you have a highly efficient intelligence service. How about the guns in the mews?
They don't exist. I don't have a gun either. You can look if you like.
Oh, I take your word for it. Why should I help a traitor escape?
He's not a traitor. He's not even British. He's Russian and doing a very dangerous job.
Yes, well, he's still on the other side, so why should I help him?
You have a reputation.
Not for helping Russia.
You wouldn't be helping Russia. He's no use to them anymore. He's finished. I want my husband back. I love him.
Mrs. Spring, I'm touched. But again, why should I help him?
For money? I'll pay well.
How well?
How much do you want?
Oh, no, Mrs. Spring, the first principle in any deal is let the other side talk first.
£3,000.
On your way, Mrs. Spring. I'm afraid you'll have to seek salvation elsewhere.
4.
Forget it. Besides, it wouldn't work.
Why not?
Oh, for a start, you're coming here with sheer lunacy. Our security people will have told you.
Of course they did, but I lost them. You needn't worry.
Really? All right, talk.
I'm not a rich woman.
Oh, now, come on off it, Mrs. Spring. You can't fool me for a second. The Russians sent you. So why don't we talk sensibly?
I'm willing to pay anything within reason.
And if your husband is no more use to them, why do they want him out?
They'll never get men of my husband's caliber to work for them if every time they're caught, they're just abandoned.
True. Okay, I want £10,000 cash, 1/3 in advance, the balance on delivery.
All right.
And I only deliver him. How they get him out of the country is their business.
Agreed. Do you really think you can do it?
Of course, if I move during the trial, most people wait until they're convicted before trying to escape. The element of surprise will work in our favor.
£3,500.
I see you came prepared. Why all the haggling?
Departments are the same everywhere. Get a bargain if you can. There's my address and phone number.
Thank you. Now, no more visits. Our security boys weren't born yesterday.
Mr. Templar, my husband is a wonderful man.
I'm sure that Eva Braun felt the same about Hitler.
Simon Templar? I can't believe it.
Inspector Teal, I saw her go in and I saw her leave.
But what would she be doing there?
Planning her husband's escape.
That's wild guesswork.
The woman didn't go into a cinema, disguise herself, sneak out and go and visit him just for a cup of tea.
But I know Templar. He'd never worked for the Russians.
Look, sir, he may be a friend of yours, but all the same...
I didn't say he was a friend. I said I know him and he'd never worked for the Russians.
Most people have a price, sir.
It's incredible. Come in.
Excuse me, sir. There's a Mr. Simon Templar here to see you.
Show him in. Quick, inside there. Leave the door open and listen.
Thank you. Well, Claude, you're looking magnificent. May I?
And what's this unexpected visit in aid of?
Information. Who is in charge of John Spring's physical security?
I am.
Well, it couldn't be in more capable hands, could it? Especially with my help. His wife called on me.
Is that so?
She asked me to organize his escape.
Did she really?
Oh, is that all you have to say? Don't you believe me?
Of course I believe you. What did you say?
Well, I temporized. Then I came here.
Very laudable. Did she say who sent her?
No, she came of her own accord. Apparently the Russians have no further use for him. Well, I can't figure out is why she came to me of all people.
Can't you?
Well, Claude, you know I wouldn't do that kind of work.
Apparently, other people think you would. That's the penalty of having a reputation. Thank you for coming in.
Is that all, Claude?
What do you want, a medal?
No, but I thought that if we were to string her along, she might lead us...
No, now, you keep out of this, do you hear me?
Yes, Claude.
I'm in charge, and I'm happy with my precautions.
Yes, Claude.
And I don't want any help, is that clear?
Yes, Claude.
And if you get any further approaches, report it to me and do nothing.
Yes, Claude.
One false move out of you, and I'll slap you in jail so fast you won't know what's hit you.
Why, Claude, if that's how you feel.
That's exactly how I feel. My mints.
Seems I should apologize.
Why?
Well, he reported it, didn't he?
Let me tell you something about Simon Templar. The more he smiles, the more helpful, the more cooperative, the more honest and charming he is, the more you can be sure he's plotting something diabolical. The question is, what?
Excuse me. Could I have a light?
Sure.
How do you feel?
Angry.
I am sorry. It is a harmless drug.
Yes, but effective.
Oh, yes. I am a friend of Mrs. Spring.
A Russian friend.
A friend who wants to know why you take money from her to help her husband, and then you go straight to Scotland Yard.
Well, I'll tell you, Mr.
Ulanin.
Mr. Volanin. I went to Scotland Yard to protect the one person in the world I really care about.
Who?
Me.
I'm sorry, you talk in riddles.
Well, it was a pretty stupid thing to do to send Mrs. Sprung to my house.
Oh, the point is that...
Oh, sure. Steps were taken to throw off the people who were trailing her, but they failed. She was followed.
You're sure?
Of course, I'm sure. I followed one of them back to Scotland Yard.
I see. So this man would have reported that she visited you.
Naturally. So if I hadn't gone to them, they would have come to me.
And what did you tell them?
Well, the truth, or part of it, that she asked me to organize her husband's escape. Then I said I temporized.
A pity. So, this ends your efforts on Mrs. Spring's behalf.
Well, Mr. Volanin, that depends.
But they will be watching you.
Well, I lay a false trail while I'm organizing the real escape.
Very risky.
True. And as it's very risky, it's going to cost you £15,000 instead of 10.
A lot of money.
Oh, I hate to shock you, Mr. Volanin, but I'm not doing this out of love for Mother Russia.
All right. 15,000.
Where do I deliver Spring?
Oh, that I cannot tell you now.
Oh, I have to know. He'll be red hot when I get him, and I want him out of my hands fast.
I cannot give you the location of one of our safe addresses in advance. They change from day to day. As soon as you get him out, you call this number. You will be told where to deliver him.
You're the boss.
You flatter me. Do you really think you can do this thing?
Mr. Volanin, in a capitalist society, miracles can be achieved for £15,000. Tax-free. Hi.
I was followed here.
So was I. Fun, isn't it?
I thought you said we weren't to meet like this.
Yes, well, tactics have been changed. When are you seeing your husband?
Tomorrow?
Good. Do you think you can get a message through without being caught?
Yes. We slip in a few words of Russian here and there.
Now, listen carefully. Got it?
Yes. When?
Tuesday. Keep your fingers crossed. Oh, we met at a newsstand just off the Edgware Road. I said I wanted £15,000 cash. She said no.
What would you have done if she'd said yes?
Fainted. Or I might have been tempted to have a go.
And that's the last you'll hear of it?
I imagine so.
Right. Thank you, Templar.
Claude, I don't want to interfere, but...
Then don't.
Well, don't you think you should be tailing Mrs. Spring?
You can leave that to me.
Well, Inspector, that seems straightforward enough.
There's something rotten in the state of Denmark.
You mean they're plotting from across the channel?
I mean, keep tailing him. I want a 24-hour watch on Simon Templar.
All right, £260 cash. I drive it away.
Done.
Thanks
Goodbye.
very much.
After him.
The switch operated a mechanism which slid the bookshelves back to reveal a concealed room behind. Having operated the switch, I went inside the concealed room. The accused followed me.
And what did you find in this concealed room?
A powerful radio transmitter, code books, and a locked filing cabinet.
What happened then?
I cautioned the accused and said I was going to arrest him.
Did he make any reply?
He said, "My wife knows nothing about this."
Did he make any further statement?
No, sir.
Darling, what you going to do? I'm so worried about you.
Don't worry about me. It's going to be all right.
I made such a complete mess of things.
You haven't.
It must be ghastly for you being looked at, talked about, humiliated.
I'm not humiliated, not a bit.
You must be.
You're Russian, not English. You were doing your duty for your country. In Moscow, you're a hero.
Not in London.
But I don't care, John. It doesn't make any difference to me. Do you understand that?
Yes. Thanks.
Incidentally, I may not be in court tomorrow.
Why not?
Aunt Mildred's coming out of hospital. Sharp at 4, I have to collect her.
I understand.
It's sooner than we expected, but the doctor's been wonderful. Arranged everything.
I'm very glad.
All she has to do is take a pill once a day, and she'll have years ahead of her.
Well, give her my best.
I will. And remember, darling, Pilula Postorum, Priavno Uchtiri Chasa. Sorry. Remember, darling, we both believe in you and love you.
Thanks for coming.
Hi, I'm from American United Press. I don't suppose you found a gold-plated pen?
No, sir. Where did you drop it? In the press box?
Oh, possibly. Anyway, if you find it, I'll pick it up tomorrow.
Very good, sir.
Thanks. Quiet, isn't it? British justice, the greatest in the world.
Yes. They even give a swine like Sprung a chance to get off. I wouldn't. I'd hang him.
You could be right.
Here, sir. You shouldn't be up there, sir.
Why, just for one moment, I'd like a chance to tell the folks back home I was once in the dock of the good old Bailey.
Unfortunately, at 4 this afternoon, we lost him in Regent Street.
Lost him? He knew you were tailing him.
No, sir.
Don't look so hurt, Waters. You're not dealing with an amateur in Templar.
We lost him in a traffic jam. They happen in Regent Street.
All right, go on.
Listen, sir, please. He bought a second-hand covered truck and parked it in a garage in Mitre Street. Do you know Mitre Street?
Should I?
It adjoins Brixton Prison, the nearest street to the yard where John Sprung takes his exercise. Later, Templar bought 50 large rockets.
Rockets?
Fireworks. Enough explosive to blow a tidy hole in any wall.
No, I don't believe it. He's having us on. It's a smokescreen.
All the evidence points to a planned escape, sir.
I don't care if it points to heaven. I know Templar. I know his twisted, devious mind better than he knows it himself.
Why the truck? Why the fireworks?
Oh, it could be anything, from stealing the crown jewels to sinking the fleet. But one thing it is not is the escape of John Spring.
Open in the name of the law. I'm parched. Simon, wakey, you lazy elf. This stomach is killing me. And I hate moustaches.
Oh, I think it suits you.
11:10 a.m. Templar visited by attractive girl and pot-bellied man.
Driving blue sedan.
Well, you better not answer the door, but you can try and bluff out the phone calls.
Right. What's this all about?
Better you shouldn't know. I'd hate to share a cell with you.
Okay, whatever you say.
Hold up the mirror for me, would you?
Incidentally, I like your friend. Who is she?
Just a girl. How's that?
We could be twins.
What a horrible thought. But that's the whole idea. There shouldn't be two men like us in the world.
Are you decent?
Yes, come on in. Well?
It, suits you.
The point is, do you still love me?
Want a frank answer?
Nope. We better get moving. Come on.
Oh, Simon. Very best of luck.
Well, thanks. Help yourself to anything you want, but keep out of my address book.
Popple and the girl are leaving. $11:25. Attractive girl and pot-bellied man seen leaving Templar. If you ask me, this old ruddy thing is a waste of time.
The radio transmitter was a powerful one, capable of worldwide transmission.
Have you seen such a transmitter before?
Yes, sir, I have.
What is the country of manufacture?
East Germany, sir.
Thank you. No more questions. If it pleases your lordship, I should like to recall Detective Inspector Davis at this juncture.
Am I to understand that the evidence regarding the code books is now to hand?
That is correct, my lord.
Have you any objection, Sir John?
No objection at all, my lad. We're as anxious as my learned friend to clarify the matter.
Very well.
What is it, Doctor?
Cardiac shock.
The ambulance is here, Doctor.
Good.
Breathe. I can't breathe.
I'm giving him a shot. Can you help me, please? Just hold his wrist. Keep the arm steady. Do you feel ghastly?
Horrible.
It'll pass. Here, put these on.
Where's this idiot taking us?
trial, I've just achieved the impossible. Llewellyn, Spring is on the way.
You have done very well, but there is trouble.
What trouble?
Your people move fast. Their information is good. Within 10 minutes of the escape, the chosen house was under surveillance. We cannot use it.
Well, I can't hold him.
You must. For a few hours, while we make other arrangements.
All right, I'll take him to my place. And don't forget the money.
A close watch is being kept at all airports and seaports. Special security measures were put into force within minutes of Spring's escape. These include surveillance of foreign embassies and certain houses suspected of being used for subversive purposes. We follow with details of the highlights of this evening's...
Yeah? Oh, hi, Simon. Yeah. Yeah. I get it. Right away.
Templar's going out.
Very sinister. He bought a loaf, a French loaf.
And we could back it in. While we've been twiddling our thumbs, Spring's been sprung.
What?
Teal's having fits.
Potbelly's back. Want me to make a note?
Don't be funny.
So far, so good.
We should never have come here.
Oh, it's the best thing, as it turns out. The bloodhounds across the road have just been called off.
I wonder why.
Oh, poor old Teal needs all hands on deck.
But you say he suspects you?
Well, the fact that I allowed him to discover that I was apparently plotting your escape has convinced him that I'm not.
I hope you're right.
Oh, I am. You see, he thinks he knows me, and he knows that I would never be as ham-fisted as that. It's a classic case of the old double bluff.
I'll never understand the British.
Well, it's hard to think of you as being anything but British. Are you really going to work for the West?
If I wasn't, would Colonel Hanley organize my escape?
Well, you're a brave man.
I'm a professional, like you.
Yes, but I work for one side.
Perhaps you'll change.
Never. That's the basic difference between us.
A woman answering to Marie Spring's description took a train to Southampton. Inform Herne Airport. Right. Not even a smell of him. You're positive Templar didn't go out?
Except to buy the bread, and that was an hour after the escape. You don't really suspect him, do you, sir?
Only because of the sheer impudence of the whole operation.
Groceries, Mr. Templar. They said to tell you that the spring chicken was at the bottom.
Thanks. Looks as though you're on the way. What do we got here? Caviar. Pate. Now, what's this? Well. Quelle delicatessen. This could be your marching orders.
Thank heavens. Where to?
It doesn't say. It says you'll know the place if it says Streatham, south of the river.
Yes, there's a house there. Must have escaped the attention of your people.
You ought to go alone in a taxi.
Can you call one?
No, too risky. You can't guarantee Till didn't leave somebody watching you. He could be trying a double bluff, too.
That's true.
I'll drive it.
All right.
Is this the end of us?
It needn't be.
Good. There's caviar, pate, and champagne in the icebox.
I'll be back as fast as I can.
I'll wait.
Thanks, Templar. Great work.
You're welcome. Just don't spoil it all by getting caught.
Once is enough.
Goodbye, good luck.
And to you.
And wait, you're going north, away from the river.
Women drivers, no sense of direction.
A little champagne, Mr. Spring, to celebrate your coming funeral.
Yeah. Solitary confinement.
No, it won't bother you. We're giving you a drug which induces a coma so deep that to all intents and purposes animation is suspended.
Charming. I should have stayed in Brixton.
In case some overeager official opens the coffin, you'll appear quite dead. A little drink, then you must change into black.
Suits my mood, black.
The press, Colonel.
Sorry to be leaving England, my dear. I've grown quite attached to it.
Not too attached, I hope, comrade.
All very well for you to talk. You're staying.
One move, you die.
No move, I live.
You alone?
Check. На здоровье, товарищи.
На здоровье.
И тоже на здоровье, Simon Templar.
На здоровье, Simon Templar.
Mr. Templar, I am very sorry.
So I.
Что случилось?
Он бе у саду.
So very foolish, Mr. Templar.
No, getting caught? I'm furious. Well, champagne party. I should have brought the caviar.
You should have stayed home.
I'm terribly intrigued. How did you cotton on?
This.
My tie?
Yes.
Royal Artillery.
I checked the army list. The real Colonel Hanley is Royal Horse Artillery. A snobbish but very subtle difference.
These little things.
Agreed. You see, for some years now, the rest of the world has been systematically underestimating the British. To them, we are a second-rate power. Which means that everything about us is second-rate. You see, you're doing it now.
What?
Underestimating. You're standing between me and the gun.
Constant vigilance, absolutely necessary.
The real Colonel Hanley is away, of course.
Of course. 3 months.
But if you knew, why did you get me out?
You never heard of having your cake and eating it?
Well, what does he say?
He means he wants the 15,000 before he turned us in.
Right.
You are a professional.
And I take back everything I said about you, too. You see, you were double-crossing me, so I didn't see why you shouldn't pay for it.
I'm only unhappy that you will not be able to spend it now.
He will be, if we lock him up until I'm out of the country.
No, we cannot allow this.
Of course we can.
What could he do once Spring is gone?
Run to Inspector Teal and say, sorry, sir, I organized the escape because I thought I was working for British intelligence.
He wouldn't dare.
And we do owe him a lot. Please.
All right, all right. The cellar.
Oh, thank you for a very sporting attitude.
Think nothing of it. It's all much more cloak than dagger these days.
You'll forgive me if I don't congratulate you all. Just yet.
You're a fool. He has to die.
But why?
Because I, my dear, have to stay in this country.
I envy Spring. I wish I could sleep for the next 12 hours.
Your passport.
Thank you.
And yours. Plus death certificate and the Home Office transit permit for a corpse.
Exit Colonel Hammerley. Enter Monsieur Boisson. Quel dommage.
There will be new passports and papers awaiting for you in Paris as arranged.
We better be going.
I shall not be seeing you again. Good luck.
Thanks.
Goodbye, my dear.
Goodbye.
Not too tight. He must be able to breathe. Immediately we leave. Take care of Templar.
Da, comrade.
See to Templar. Goodbye.
Where have they gone? Outside, you said. You move, you die. Now I'm telling you. You talk, or you die.
Victoria Station.
Not afraid of the dark, are you?
Yes, all in order, Monsieur Poisson.
Nothing more for you to do till you collect the coffin in Paris.
Thank you so very much.
Police! Someone stole my corpse!
Mrs. Spring, I'm warning you, I'll hold you indefinitely until you talk.
There's no point in my talking, Inspector. My husband's escaped, and you'll never find him.
She's not bluffing either.
Think I don't know that? I'm the one who's bluffing. So help me, I wish I were dead.
Then this may come in handy. Claude, you'd better call Dover. Tell them to pick up a Monsieur Boisson and a girl before they can get on the cross-channel ferry. Take the lid off, will you, fellas?
I'll give you 10 seconds to explain.
Spring is here.
But that's not Spring.
Oh, yes, it is. There you are, Claude. You got him back. Well done, well done. You wait till the Home Office hears about this. I wouldn't be surprised if it's not Commander Teal.